Bienvenidos a Archivo Sonar, y son pocas las veces que en un mes de agosto, mes de aniversario de la radio y al mismo tiempo de mi cumpleaños, tengo la oportunidad de encontrarme de frente con Gary Numan, una leyenda del pop rock industrial, un tipo demasiado importante para poder resumirlo en estos segundos, pero en Archivo lo van a notar aquí en este mismísimo estudio, conversando con nosotros a placer. Esto es un imperdible en nuestra celebración de 15 años, el haber contado con Gary Numan previo a sus shows en Blondie y en Monticello. Ahí les va.
Well, wanted to come to South America for such a long time, years and years and years, and never been able to get it to happen. So when we got the opportunity for this trip and for these shows, I just wanted to make more of it and just come in and do the shows and fly back out again. So we came in early. We've already been out to the Andes and we've moved around Santiago. We flew out to Easter Island and spent some time in Easter Island.
Okay.
Got back midnight last night actually for this. We've more trips out tomorrow to other places. So I'm trying to be a tourist as well as a musician, because I've not been here before, and for me it's very exciting to be here. It's an exotic place for an Englishman.
Claro, dice, es un lugar exótico para un inglés, este país, pero también Easter Island, como él le llama, que es Isla de Pascua. Ayer regresó a la medianoche y siempre tuvo la idea que si se daba la posibilidad de tocar en Chile y en Latinoamérica, en el sur del mundo, iba a aprovechar también de hacer un poco de turismo, que es efectivamente lo que está haciendo.
Initially, I think nervousness. I only played in places that I knew. So I would play in Europe, I would play in North America, and then I would go back to England. I'm unnatural at this, at music.
Okay.
Being in the public eye. And so I was very nervous. And then as time went by and I became more confident about being on stage and just doing this for a living, so the career had collapsed, and it was very difficult. And then there was no interest to go anywhere else. And then it began to build up again. 94, 95, things started to improve a little bit with the career. And I was able to start to travel again and tour overseas again. I mean, I didn't tour North America for, I think it was 19 years.
Wow.
And then I started to say, well, what about other places? Russia, South America, places I'd not been to before. And I just got no reaction to that. And I felt that there was no interest there. And so initially, my fault, definitely. More recently, just a difficult to try to find the right people that were interested to bring me to these various places, not just here, but other places as well. So it's been an increase in battle, really.
Ha sido una batalla que se ha ido librando año tras año en tanto a encontrar la situación perfecta para venir a Sudamérica, pero también de ciertas inseguridades que Gary nos revelaba en tanto a cómo planteó su carrera a finales de los 70 y a principios de los 80 y cómo luego hubo un bajón de popularidad que le hizo sentir un tanto inseguro en tanto si había público en el resto del mundo, en Rusia o en Argentina o Chile para hacer su show, y luego sintió que a mediados de los 90 empezó a haber una revalorización de su trabajo y se empezó a atrever a tocar en Estados Unidos, pero en el fondo a plantearse con un tipo que tiene una raigambre musical importantísima, forjada a finales de los 70, y que con el tiempo ha ido tomándole el peso a lo que es su enorme influencia.
I think when I was first successful, 79, 80, the children then that liked that stuff grew up.
Yeah.
And they became successful, and then they begin to talk about the things that they were influenced by, and my name keeps coming up as one of those people. And so it introduced me to a completely new audience, and it was that period that saw the second part of my career to pick back up again. So it's thanks to Trent Reznor and people like that I went from being really down and almost finished to coming back up again.
Bueno, él decía que justamente fue ese periodo y le agradece en particular a Trent Reznor y todo lo que pasó en los 90 porque le dio un nuevo aire y combustible a su carrera y ya está muy agradecido de aquello. You gave actually for this tribute album, you gave some sort of like permission for that or just happened out of the blue?
No, I knew it was coming.
Okay, you knew.
I don't have to give permission. But I was very much involved in it. They invited me in.
I didn't know that.
And I contributed some things myself to other. There was lots of it. There was one called Random. There was one called Hybrid. There was a lot of different.
I remember the Random album.
Yeah, and I was involved in some of those. But it was, I was very much invited to be involved in it in some way.
Ok, él decía que estaba involucrado y que de alguna forma también contribuyó en este par de tributos donde el Random es el que yo recomiendo de manera más entusiasta porque probablemente es una nueva generación rindiéndole homenaje a Gary Numan o Gary Numan como se diría en Estados Unidos.
I find it easy.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Le preguntaba si no es tan fácil el ser hoy día una persona que vive. How long have you been living in the States? ¿Cuánto vives en?
It's 6 years.
6 years.
October. But I found it very easy.
No me costó nada acostumbrarme a vivir en Estados Unidos.
The language is the same.
Yeah.
Mostly. I find the people very friendly. I find maybe because I'm in the music business, there's a big interest in music in Los Angeles.
Okay.
But I have not had any trouble at all. I'm very happy there, very comfortable there.
Okay, está muy feliz, está muy cómodo en Los Ángeles.
Some.
Yeah, some.
My wife has always wanted to live there, so there was that pressure.
And your wife, Gemma, is from England too?
Yes, from London, same as me.
So you're happy in that place?
Yeah, very much so. The children are happy. I've got 3 children. They're all happy there. It's a very different life to England.
Okay, es una vida muy diferente a Inglaterra.
Yeah, the weather is fantastic.
Yeah.
It's an outdoor life, and I much prefer that.
Claro, es más al aire libre, el clima es fantástico.
It's constant.
Es constante lo que ha pasado en tanto la relación en el mundo de la publicidad con un tema como Cars.
Yeah, it's used in advertising campaigns all over the world. Constantly, from one to another to another. At any time, there's probably 2 or 3 or 4 advertising campaigns using it. There is now today. There's several in different parts. Well, it came from something happened to me in London.
Okay, viene de algo que pasó en Londres alguna vez.
I got into a big argument. Well, actually, 2 people tried to attack me in my car. In London when long time ago, obviously, and I had to drive up onto the pavement, and it was really scary and very frightening. I escaped, luckily, but it left a mark on me. So when I wrote about it, probably 2 years later, actually, it happened when I was about 17, 18. But that's where the lyric came from. It was a real experience that caused it, and then I realised that a car is safety. In amongst people, you lock your doors and you are, and it's from not from other cars or from accidents. It's from people
who
want to hurt you.
Yeah, I got it.
She's 12 now.
Okay, so she's a natural.
No, she came home from school.
Okay,
she sings around the house all the time. She has a lovely voice.
Okay,
but she came home from school, just said hello. Come into the studio and said, "Hello, Dad. I'm home."
Okay.
And I'd been struggling with that song all day. I tried to sing the parts that she sang, didn't sound right with my voice, and so I got her to sing it, and she was great, and it worked really well, and it really made a difference. It made a difference to the song, and so she's not there because she's my daughter. She's there because she sings really well, and she would just happened to be there at the right time. And then she was on the video for it, and she was fantastic in that. She's been on stage now 30 or 40 times doing that song.
Wow.
Festivals, all over the place. I don't have a good relationship with the song.
Okay.
If I'm truthful.
Okay. Si soy honesto, no tengo una tan buena relación con la canción.
It's one of those songs that defines your career, and I think badly.
Okay.
I don't think it's my best song. And so it's been slightly frustrating. I mean, I'm very grateful.
Yes.
It's done well. But it's been very frustrating in some respects that I don't think it's my best thing at all.
Okay.
Far from it. So with the Fear Factory thing came along, it was just interesting for me to see it done differently. And that was interesting. I get fed up doing it myself. You know,
claro.
I've done it thousands of times and it gets a bit boring. But it was interesting with Fear Factory to see a completely different version of it come along. But I think really that there's not much you can do with it. It's such a simple song.
Yeah.
Such a simple riff. I don't think you could have an orchestra do it, or you could have Metallica do it, and it would probably still sound similar. You know.
Yes.
Two albums have come from book ideas, novel ideas I've been working on. The first one was Replicas in 79.
El primero fue Réplicas en 79.
That came from a collection of short stories that I was writing. Then the album went to number one in Britain, and the music career exploded. And so I've never finished that. And then I since then it's just been a hobby, something I do, not to publish, just to write. I write children's stories sometimes, different things. But then with Savage, I've been working on a novel for some time. Few years now.
You took almost like 35 years in between.
Well, it's a completely different story.
Okay.
And when I started to write the album Savage, I just borrowed ideas from the novel.
Okay.
Because I had no ideas for the music. And then Donald Trump started, and it's to do with global warming.
Tiene que ver con el calentamiento global y también el factor de Donald Trump con Gary Numan viviendo en Estados Unidos.
Donald Trump started to say things about global warming that it was
non-existence.
Ignorant stuff. And so I started to write. I started to take more and more ideas from the book, and so Savage became a musical version of the novel. I've not finished the novel yet. I would like to. It is a big ambition. To make a novel. But Savage is definitely a musical version of the book so far. Normally I would do a very small amount of older songs.
Okay.
3, maybe.
Okay.
And a big focus on the new album, Savage, this time.
Yes.
With these shows, because I've not been here before, I feel that there should be more... a better mix.
Okay.
Some more older songs. The focus would still be Savage, but there would be more older songs than I would usually play. It's difficult, actually, because I don't know what people here know about me.
Yes.
So I've really struggled with the decision on what songs to play, but I decided that I'll do maybe 5, 6, 7 older songs, and then the rest will be new stuff.